Action.
Hello.
Hello.
So,
Sessions TV, Johnson Burrows. To whom do I? To whom? Start that over.
why? Go. Welcome to the most dashing hour of television that you're about to have. This is going to be a must-see session for On Sessions TV because you are now truly in the presence of the purple experience that is the artist formerly known as Dash.
Thank you. And I have the pleasure of having you as a guest on Sessions TV. And my name is Johnson Burrows, the host doing the most. And I want to introduce the guest one more time because he definitely deserves an encore.
Appreciate you.
One more
Appreciate
time.
you.
Introduce thyself.
Again, this is the Brooklyn's Wrestling Prince, the artist formerly known as Dash, formerly known as Dash and D Dowson, also once known as Dash and D Weatherford. I am one of your greatest pro wrestling fetish fantasies that has been gracing the stage and wowing and entertaining in only the way that I can do under the tribute artist of the one and original Purple One, Prince.
I got a statement for you.
Ooh,
Agree or disagree?
gotcha.
You really are the Brooklyn Wrestling Prince. Royalty built on pain and swagger.
Absolutely. I fully agree. That is probably one of the greatest descriptions I've had of myself as a character.
Why is it a greatest description? Why is that? Because proof is in the pudding.
Proof has always been in the pudding. If you've been watching my career, for those who haven't, this has been an evolution. My character has started from very humble roots. I have started in Brooklyn, and it has been a very painfully royal experience. It has been many iterations of myself. However, I have chimed in to unlock, to always give a very one-of-a-kind experience. And it has come with many losses, many painful experiences, scars, mishaps in the ring, bruises, blood, sweat, tears, broken bones. You name it, I've probably been through it. And I try to deliver that in the ring as well to my opponents so that you can believe that you are watching a very real combat sport as we are entertaining you.
Now, you brought all that up, and I gotta mention this. It's the most current event happening right now. I think you know where I'm gonna go with this based on what you said with the whole situation happening with Rampage's son. Did you know what happened with that?
I'm aware.
I'm aware.
Not happy about it. It's been stealing a little thunder from what I did this weekend. I had a nice show. It was great viral moments, and next thing you know, I'll look, everyone's talking about one thing. Didn't get to see Santana Jackson and the artist formerly known as Dash lock it up one more time because that took over the airways. But I'm actually not surprised that we're talking about it here because it is a very serious situation, a very unfortunate situation. But before I just continue into a rant, what do you want to know about my opinion on it?
Well, opinion or more like thoughts. Your thought process in regards to living up to a father being under his shadow, how that plays on the mental state of that particular person trying to get his own footing, his own ground, his own legacy, but he's still under the shadow because it's always, yeah, this is Rampage's son and not just Raj or Raja, whatever his name is. Unfortunately, my apologies, but it's like that kind of scenario. It's kind of hard to maintain I guess, your own identity.
Indeed.
And I think that was one of the contributions to why he did what he did.
Possibly. I feel like in that situation, it's one of those things that you're looking at a scenario in which, unless you're actually in it yourself directly, you can't really say what will be exactly what that's in that person's mind. I can comparatively think of it. I took on trying to copy a legend already. I took on being a tribute artist and trying to pay homage to something that was a very larger than life entity in Prince. And that was a responsibility on myself and a lot of pressure to be able to perform to a certain level that actually pays homage to it correctly, that makes fans and others feel nostalgic accordingly. In a case of if it was an actual family member that this was a legacy for, and then I'm carving out my own legacy. In wrestling, we always say you don't want to be the next such and such person, fill in the blank. You want to be the first you. And sometimes being the first you when you are a carbon cut copy of someone else, it's really hard to separate yourself from that. And you probably, do sit with a lot of anxiety, a lot of pressure, and want to make sure that your reputation stands as tall as the one before you, but also is in your own way, that it just becomes this identity that you have to put on a mask even. And it may not be a full reflection of yourself, or even it just might motivate you to go even further beyond than what you do have to, because you need to be bigger. Maybe you yourself are just, maybe you are that kid and you are in certain situations and you are a tough guy in your own right, but because of your father's legacy or something else, now you have to be extra.
And
Take it further.
And just to interrupt you real quick, the father, it doesn't help when the father, and I've researched this, it doesn't help when the father is literally trolling you, demeaning you, calling you all kinds of names, calling you kinds of gay this, gay that, and, saying something like, in other words, he said one time, well, my Japanese kids, I'm gonna save money for them to go to college, but for my other kids, I'm gonna save money for them for bail. It's like you're already setting up this, stereotype outlook on your kids. It's like, bruh, it doesn't help that you kind of ride on him, and I think what he did to that guy in the ring was more of a reflection of himself doing it to his own father.
It's one of those things. I feel like I'm not the best person to ask or quote on it, because that's a personal situation. That's between them. I like to mind the business that pays me. None of them are paying me, putting anything in my pocket with it. So that's what they have to do. And then again, these things are very personal. And when it comes to personal matters, the people involved need to handle it themselves. We as outsiders are going to always be able to observe and have inference and things like that. But you know what? They know the workings of what's going on. Is it something I agree with all the time? No. Does it matter? I don't necessarily think so. Would I do it in my own family? Maybe not. However, we all are human and we all have to make our decisions. We have to live with those decisions and follow through on them. I would say maybe Rampage knows what he's talking about. Maybe he knows something we don't know. And maybe that was the best way that he was able to handle it at that time and have to do it. Again, he takes some very extreme approaches, but he's also an extreme kind of person. I wouldn't be able to judge him because I'm not in that world. I'm not in that space. I haven't existed in that world. The fight game is very intense, and to have a family life while as an entertainer, as a competitor to that degree and to that level, and to have done it successfully, there's a lot of pressure and there's a lot of things that are going to go on behind closed doors that not everyone's going to be privy to. And that's going to be very personal. I can relate that to myself with wrestling. There's a lot of things that have happened in my life. There's a lot of things that have happened with my children, my family, my exchanges with other people in those relationships, that it's changed because of the demand of the business itself. Not being able to be present, having to be on the road, having to do these things, and then trying to manage that in between. There's just certain aspects. Your viewpoint changes. I have a very much more wide cultural, worldly view of so many different things that I'm not even going to take traditional measures that most people probably would with parenting, because I look at it in a different frame because I've been exposed to something different.
I think that's one of the benefits of in your role. You get to see and travel, and you get to be exposed to different things, and then your brain, your mindset gets to eat it, digest it, and make it whatever it is for your own perspective and for your own journey.
Absolutely. I mean, again, I value myself as an artist, and I'm always looking to create, but I like to pull from real life experiences. I like to pull from what's happening around me. So a lot of times, I'm seeming like I'm really quiet and I'm detached, but it's not. I'm observant because I'm learning. I'm always learning. You catch me at any point, you probably will see me goofing around at certain points, but then there's going to be a lot of those moments where I'm just there, and I'm just soaking it in. But I'm also looking because there's something for me to learn from that experience. There's something for me to learn from what other people are doing. Um, you know, After the years that I've been doing this, some people want to call me a vet, but I'm just a long-term student. I'm always learning, and I'm always going to be learning because every experience offers something new.
So what's the difference between you staring off and you're just observing compared to you staring off as that person is lunch meat? I'm about to get them as the artist.
You can see it in my
That.
eyes. If I am focused and I'm focused on you, it can easily turn from where I'm like here, I'm glazing, right? I'm looking around. This is just me in the moment observing right now. And then this is me locked in on you. I'm focused.
Damn.
Now you're actually gonna have to worry about what happens next because there's only me and you.
I
And
mean, I
want you to
could
know.
feel it.
Yeah. It gets a little intimidating for some others, but you don't know whether I'm going to eat you, bite you, lick you, hurt you, pleasure you. Something is going to happen once I'm locked in this hard.
Wow.
And my eyes will be right there, and you'll know it because I want you to, and I want you to feel and guess about anything that is possibly going to happen next.
Keep them guessing. You don't know what's going to pop off.
Never know.
So when you wrestle, what would be your own, actually I should say this, what is your signature move or moves?
I have a couple. There's so many ones that I have as signatures that I look to do almost every match. I like neck breakers a lot. For some reason, that has been just my go-to. No matter what I'm gonna do, you're gonna see some sort of neck breaker in a match. It has just been that. Kicks has been known. My main moves that have very particular names are the Purple Pain. There is the Climax. There is the Little Red Corvette.
Wow.
There's each one has their particular move set reasons. There's the Regal Neck Breaker, which I can say I stole that one, but it became such a favorite move. It's just such a unique, like cutter style neck breaker that I can go for. I also do a swinging neck breaker that has recently been dubbed. Shout out to Alvin Alvarez for naming it the singing neck breaker. I go for that one as well. And now, lately, since I like to start flying off the top rope, of course, I would wait to the most latest part of my career to start showcasing that. I'm doing the Swanton, which has now been referred to as the Housequake. So if you're looking at any of my matches, these are things to look out for. You will see most of them. Like I said, the finisher, Purple Pain, it's again another neck breaker. It's just that you're gonna see me drop down into a split, and once you see it, you kind of know game blouses. I win. There's no getting out of that.
Nice. Okay. Agree or disagree?
The hard questions.
Pain is your currency and you spend it frivolously.
I feel like in the wrestling game, isn't that it? Like, we are all masochists if you're in this wrestling business. I don't care how you think about it. We are signing up to beat ourselves up on a regular basis. That's what we're doing. You are throwing yourself into those ropes. You're throwing yourself onto that mat. My fun fact that I always do on any presentation is like, think about what a bump is. A bump is compared to a 25-mile-per-hour car crash. I am putting myself in a car crash on a daily basis when I train. When I perform, hey, every bump is another car crash. I'm sitting here before you with several possible injuries, hurt, beat up over the years, but I'm conditioned to deal with it and take it. And guess what? I'm going to be locked in to actually do some more training today. I'm going to rest and I'm going to do my medicals and make sure that I'm always clear to wrestle before a match. But this is a pain game. I literally call it my campaign for pain. And I have signed up with the beautiful mistress that is professional wrestling in hope that she takes care of me as well as I want to take care of her.
Agree or disagree? Your signature style is basically choreographed pain.
Absolutely. I mean, well, actually, I can't say my signature style is choreographed pain. I'm a pain provocateur. So I am going to bring pain as much as I'm going to take pain. So you and I, if we're in that ring, we're going to experience pain in a very particular way. I take the quote from Bush, "There's no sex in your violence," and I actually say that I'm going to put the sex back into violence because we're both going to go through this together. We're both going to experience this, so it's going to be a very intimate experience. So I can't say that my style is choreographed pain, but it is choreographed to deliver pain in a very flashy and entertaining way so that it can actually seem like it's something you want to do and experience. But I guarantee you it hurts all the way through.
And the provocateur term, I think you relish in that title, the provocateur pain.
Do I?
It's like you bathe in it. It seems like you're just lavishing in it.
I mean, again, if I'm going to be the best, if I'm going to be involved in this, if I'm going to be an artist, I have to embrace every aspect of it. I have to be larger than life. Again, I want to honor someone who already paved the way and did that in music, in industry, in creativity, fashion. If I'm going to even slightly mirror that, I need to do it in my own way and take it into so many different aspects that I probably haven't imagined and allow myself to just let go of barriers and try new things. So yes, I do. I completely agree. I will lavishly go into pain. I will lavishly go into artistry. I will lavishly hurt others in the necessary parts of a match. Again, we are entertainers. We are going to do what we have to do to make you have a great suspension of disbelief. And we're going to do what I believe is the core value of the word television. I'm going to tell you a vision. I'm going to tell you a story. And that story is a pain story. It's a story of pain. It's a story of dealing with pain, overcoming pain, expressing pain. And I want to do that better than anybody else.
The artist, formerly known as Dash, says, agree or disagree, a broken heart hurts worse than a steel chair to the back.
Oh, wait, you stole that one. I feel like that was a direct quote. I said that one time. It does. I can recover from getting hit with a chair in a day or two. I can probably get hit with a chair right now and I won't worry about it for the next 2 days. But a broken heart, you got to live with that. That's something that sticks. A broken heart can change exactly who you are as a person. A broken heart can change what you experience and how you view life. A broken heart can send you in a tailspin, and maybe you use pain to start numbing what that actually is, because I need to feel the physical stimulation versus just what's going on the inside. So yeah, I agree, fully agree, because beat me with the chair if you want to. My physical pain, that's temporary. I can deal with that. That mental, that inside, that emotion, that's enough to make you shiver.
Now, the artist formerly...
For that one.
Well, who's that? Who's that you got right there?
This is the puppet right here. Sometimes it can be for my inner thoughts and things. I want to put the emotions all in this cup. Let him deal with it. He can talk for you. How should you deal with it? Tell you how it feels to be in pain, hurt, sadness, feelings.
Is there a name for that, inner thought?
Not yet.
Not yet. Just the inner thoughts.
Inner thoughts. We'll actually call this Dash. Since I'm the artist formerly known, this is Dash. This is what was left over. We put it away. Whoopsies. Oh gosh, now. See? He came all apart.
You're probably trying to think about jumping off the top rope.
No, it's just the emotions spilling over, that time of the year, certain things, anniversaries. As a veteran, you reinvent yourself so many different times. You sometimes want to keep parts of yourself, but sometimes as you reinvent yourself, the old parts of you spill right back out. So I think that's what he's dealing with.
Well, I got a question for the inner thought. Actually, I more like have a agree, disagree to the inner thought. Inner thought, you ready?
Don't look at me. He's asking you the questions. You gotta be prepared for this. You need to be prepared. You said you wanted to come. No time to be shy. Smile for the cameras.
Being a sexy blend in the middle of today's gender wars is a risky kind of flex.
Oh, you really is asking the hard questions. It's true, it is. I have to worry about everything. How people view you, how people see you, what happens behind closed doors, the curiosities. It can be very difficult. Is it difficult? Does it hurt? It doesn't hurt. But if you're strong enough to deal with it, that means you're extraordinary. And that's what makes you want to stand out and do it even more. It's a great challenge. I know. And it's fun, ain't it? Because no one else really wants to do it the right way. Or even has the, I should say, balls to carry it through. Yeah. We like to have the strength to do things that others won't, because there was a time we didn't feel like we could. So now, yeah, we're doing it. I'm gonna go now.
Well, thank you, inner thought. And now, with you being, as you say, a provocateur, paying provocateur. You're a writer, you're a wrestler, you're an entertainer. If you had to pick out of all these four, entertainer, wrestler, writer, paying provocateur, which one would you say is the most prevalent at all times?
I think at the core of it, it's going to be just simply as an entertainer. At any point, this red light goes on, there's glitz and glamour, there's a stage, there's a reason for me to do something that's going to shock, awe, makes people question, challenge your thoughts, comforts, suspend disbelief. I am an entertainer. I think I've been called to entertain for quite a long time. I've been doing little shows in school and competitions and things of that nature since as long as I can remember. You put me on stage and I'm trying to dance like Michael Jackson, and it's just there's something about me and being performative in some form of capacity that has always called to me, and I think again that's what blends into it just being artistic, whether it's writing a poem, whether it's wrestling, whether it's dancing, whether it's doing karaoke, making a fool of myself, acting in film, even modeling. I just am always looking to bring a very unique experience to people, or do something that's going to make everyone else laugh. I feel like there's enough going on in the world that you just need to have another way to channel that. And for me, that is an entertainment. And I think more at the core, that's exactly who I was meant to be.
And we got another offshoot of your personality would be a sexy blurred.
Absolutely. If you are following me on social media, you have seen me dress up in multiple iterations of other characters. I'm a nerd at heart. I've been reading comics, Marvel movies, DC, anime, manga, sometimes, even subcultures like horror, just the more American style of Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters, all these things. They have always been a part of my life. And I grew up most of the time wanting to be those characters. So cosplaying gives me a channel to really do that. And I will try to embody it as much as possible because, yeah, I'm a sexy blurred. I think I'm already showing you right now that I'm sexy, but why does being a nerd have to make you less of that? I'm a nerd, I'm Black, I'm here, and I'm going to show it off as much as possible.
Your fans would say the nerdiest side of you is the sexiest side of you.
Some would say, I get a lot more love on my cosplay sometimes than I do with wrestling. And that's the beauty of my current iteration of my wrestling character with the artist formerly known as Dash. I technically am a little bit in cosplay as Prince. I'm cosplaying Prince to a degree, but it is my own very unique interpretation. And that has put me in a different stratosphere. So yeah, for my fans that do say that, thank you, because you are actually keeping me in tune with who I really am.
The artist formerly known as Dash looks at himself in the mirror and talks to himself all the time.
That is something I completely disagree. I do not look at myself in the mirror. I barely take selfies. I am I am not that conceited. I do love myself. I do give myself words of affirmation. I am probably just my biggest critique. If I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm finding something wrong. I am looking and I'm trying to go, what can I improve upon? I am not the kindest to myself, but I am learning to be. And that has been a long journey. And I'm glad I've gotten to the point where I do accept myself more. I do love myself more. I do have to give myself nods. But if you catch me staring at in the mirror, I'm probably seeing a pimple or something, or I'm just trying to get my makeup on for the next show. Or I'm looking at my body and I'm going, oh God, I'm bloated. My abs can't show in the next photo shoot. Oh gosh, and what else I need to do? I'm obsessively going through the body dysmorphia. No, that is that would be an interesting arrival for me to do. Maybe the artist does that.
Yeah.
Me, myself, I don't know. I think if the artist, the character himself is really staring himself in the mirror, he's just telling himself that he's the baddest, he's the best, he's the greatest, and everyone else is just going to pale in comparison and have to worry about following his show and his concert.
So I had a question on my mind. When I see wrestling, is pulling hair acceptable in a fight?
Oh gosh,
In a wrestling it is.
It is, and I hate it. It is one of those things. I am so glad I wear a wig now.
And that's just men, women, or is it the same?
It's very universal. If there is hair to be utilized in a match, it is going to be an extension of you. It's going to be used in some way or another. I've done it too. It's just one of those things. It becomes something easier to reach out, grab, and control the opponent. And even if the story calls for it, it happens. But oh my God, the amount of damage to my hair, my actual hair, since I have stepped in the ring over the years, I cannot begin to tell you. There are split ends, there are breakage, there's the edges that have just literally been ripped. It can suck. Have a good stylist, have someone who knows how to treat your hair and take care of your hair if you step into this business, because it's gonna get pulled, it's gonna get tangled, it's gonna get wrapped, it's gonna get stepped on. There's nothing else you can do about it. It's all part of the game. Like I said, pain, it's part of the game.
Whenever you say pain, I just think of Pinhead.
Ah, yes. The ultimate iteration of pain, pleasure, an S&M icon, if you will, also a horror icon. Yeah, if you really think about it at its core, like I said, wrestling is a very interesting theatrical version of S&M. There is the masochist, and that's the person who's in control of the match the masochist, that's the person who's getting beat up at the time. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be all of us at some point. And the person in control, they take the role of the sadist. And because again, we're trying to take care of each other in that ring. It is still a very expression thing. We don't want to hurt one another, but we are making sure it looks like we hurt one another. And it's a very intimate thing to do and have that exchange. There has to be a lot of trust. And this is why, if you really pay attention to the communities of wrestling, there's a lot of parallels there. You're gonna see different things, and that's why. Oh, why don't you come out? It's sometimes need your inner thoughts in a safe place, because otherwise it can get trampled on.
Wow. What are 2 things about you that you would want people to remember you by?
2 things I would want people to remember me by. It's funny. I think this is one of those questions that probably changes over time.
That's a good
I
point.
would say
Good point.
today.
Today.
I can answer for today. Today.
It's not promised.
Exactly. Today, I would want people to remember that I passionately done this. I would want them to remember my passion for artistry, my passion for delivering this particular kind of character at the level that I'm doing it, and to entertain everyone so that when they came to see me perform, they got their money's worth. When they showed up, that they were able to be caught in a level of disbelief, that they didn't have to worry about things that were going on. That would be the most important thing, that it mattered, that they came to see me and their expectations were met or blown away.
I like that.
That would be one. The second, I would have to say it would have to be about what I've done for others. It's not a legacy that I'm trying to leave. It's not something that I actually want to do, but so many people have recently told me about the impact that I've had on them and what I've been able to do. And then some of it's been very unintentional. However, the thing is, I do care a lot about people as much as I care about the business. Like, I really do care. And I hope that I left this business a little bit better than I found it. So if I'm remembered for anything, it's for what I've been able to contribute towards making something better than it was before I got there.
You sound like a complicated artist in a good way.
I think that's, again, always not even what I'm trying to do, it's just who I am.
Good. Mom, what am I doing, bro? First singles match today.
And it's all him.
July 18th.
Okay, it's all him. This is his match. He formatted especially for me. He knows my weaknesses. He knows my strength. He's amazing. I recommend you find him, follow him, train with him, learn from him. He has a lot to offer, and he's with us.
Damn. You got this, man. You got this.
Because I see something in my brain right now, thinking back to something you said, intimate. And it brings me to mind of when you were dancing with a particular wrestler looking like Catwoman. I'm not sure what's the name of her character. You were, it's like, wow, he's really giving her pain, but at the same time, this kind of duality of pain, but at the same time, I care about you. And it just seemed kind of crazy. You seem like you just dancing with her, caring about her, and then you just flip her and just do a neck break or something like that. Can you talk about a little bit in that situation that happened?
So,
and shout out to that wrestler.
Yes, by all means, shout out to Luxury Leah. She's probably one of the best people to come into my life in the last few years, and has decided to trust me on this crazy journey of wrestling. That was actually her first match, and that in many ways was probably my first student in some aspects of wrestling. And that match was to showcase what she can do. And it wound up being such a very personal, special thing for me, because it also eventually reflected that I've learned enough to be able to teach someone to be able to be in a ring. And it meant a lot. But again, I was also portraying another character who is very charismatically an enigma of someone who likes to inflict pain upon others, but they enjoy it so much it might as well be a very hedonistic experience for them. That was Catwoman versus Vega at Kineticon. And again, shout out to Kineticon Tetsu Pro Wrestling for allowing us to do that and being that platform for us. But yeah, Vega from Street Fighter, again, this is the sexy blurred coming out. Vega from Street Fighter is a very sadistic character. He's known to use his claws and attack, but he likes to play with his food or his prey, so to speak, as a
sneaky
kind of character. Yeah, he's known as the Spanish ninja.
Yeah.
And he'll, he carves you up slowly, he hovers over, he stalks and everything. So in that moment, it reminded me of the infamous Chun-Li versus Street Fighter scene from the animated series in the 90s. And with that scene, he cuts Chun-Li so many times and he starts to lick the claw. And he's just telling her, like, oh, her blood tastes so sweet. And she's like this little rabbit. And I was like, well, how do I portray that? I'm not going to be using the claws in the ring. I'm not going to be having the blood and things of that nature. But I was like, but I need to show that I'm enjoying this. I need to show that I'm really like in this mood where like this is making me happy to do this.
Elated.
And I was like, well, she's bent over right there. And I knew the next move that we were going to set up would be like a flatliner move. So I was like, you know what? I should dance with her right here. And, we put that spot in there for that. And it was just, again, you have to remember that, again, in wrestling, as much as the moves that we're trying to tell a story, a very physical, theatrical story.
Yeah.
And in that moment, that's exactly what I was doing. I was trying to convey that, like, again, I am beating on this woman. I have her right where I want her. And I could finish her at that point, but no, I don't want to. I want to enjoy this moment. This is entertaining me as much as it's supposed to entertain the fans, and I want to savor every second of it because, damn it, it is good. And she is just the perfect plaything in that moment. Sorry, Leah, it's not that personal. I don't want to make it sound weird or anything, but it is definitely just, it's a very big part of the performative act. Like, I understand every character that I play to such a particular degree, and I'm always trying to make sure that vision gets told so that you can watch my match or you can watch what's going on and you can start, even if you don't hear the commentary, you can start going, wait, that's connected to this. That has a reason. That happened for that moment. He's doing that because he's that kind of person, or maybe by the end of the match, or he won because he kept doing that particular thing to that person. We're always trying to give very subliminal messages for you. And the ones who can pick up on that, especially as not fans, then we're doing our job.
It's interesting that from that match, I took a bit of you flipping it on herself, because she was playing Catwoman, correct?
Yes.
And the way you did her was like a cat playing with his food.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of flipped the script as far as like you were the cat.
Exactly.
You were the feline. You were the tiger or the lion. It's like, I'm gonna play with it until I'm ready.
Exactly.
It was a nice little flip as far as my perspective or my take on it.
Predator versus predator. Only the bigger predator can pull it off, or the smarter one at that point. She did win that match, and if we ever have to lock up again, you're dealing with a different monster this time.
I mean, she did big herself up saying, I won the match. I was like, oh, because at first, I thought you won the match, but then when she put it out, I was like, oh, she won the match. Okay. She had to stun a little bit.
Yeah,
rightly so.
She deserved it.
Okay.
For now.
Shout out to
Luxury Leah once again as well. Please go follow her, luxury_Leah. She's an amazing cosplayer, a creator of Safe Space, an amazing model, even though that's not a title she'll probably take for herself. But if you look through her Instagram, follow her on Twitch, TikTok, and things of that nature, Luxury Lear and everything that she's on, you will see that is just an amazing human being. And you will probably be just as enamored and enthralled into everything that she does, because like I said, she's truly amazing and a one-of-a-kind artist in her own right.
You are a great speaker.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Been told I'm loquacious.
You've been told what?
I'm loquacious.
Loquacious. Why have you? What reasons do you think you've been told that you are loquacious?
Sometimes I can be wordy, and just like I always try to make sure I'm making my own point, or making the point get across. But I never try to take advantage of the idea that like, oh, what I said you just simply understood. So try to give analogies or things so that it's very universal.
Okay.
One thing for me to say something, but you have to be able to receive it. So I usually just want to make sure the receipt was there on what was said.
The artist formerly known as Dash. Wrestling reflects toxic masculinity and also challenges it at the same time. Agree or disagree?
That's a hot take. I won't disagree with it, but I don't agree with it either. Toxic masculinity is not even really a thing I truly believe in. Masculinity has many forms, many faces, many things. For it to be toxic, it needs to just only be in that very particular form. I feel femininity has a way that it can be toxic. Everything has the potential to be toxic. It is all about the experience and how the person that is utilizing it at that time decides to do it. So is wrestling a provocation of any of that? I think wrestling, again, this is a storytelling business. It can be all of those things. If you look at wrestling and you see toxic masculinity, maybe you're seeing it because it does exist as a duality. It's much a part of it as much as it isn't. But again, wrestling is an art form like any art form. Acting can be considered parts of toxic masculinity. You constantly look at a Medea movie. You're always going to see like some guy beating on his chest damn near and probably beating on his wife. DV winds up being a recurring theme in a lot of these films. That's a display of toxic masculinity, but is masculinity toxic in itself? No. Is wrestling a catalyst of that? No. Can it promote it? Yes. You hang out in a locker room full of athletes and competitors, and you will experience elements that you will probably deem as toxic masculinity, but you would have to understand the actual bond, trust that is for a person to be that free to even go to that level where it's not toxic. I think that's something to challenge on that concept alone. Understanding when toxic masculinity is just masculinity and not toxic because of an understanding of built-in response towards it. Femininity as well, to understand it, that it's not always a soft thing and special thing, and it can be very manipulative and conniving, and those things are toxic. There's things about it that very much exist, but to say it's just toxic masculinity and challenging, there's a realm for it, but I feel like that's on you as the viewer. That's your vision to create, or conclusion, I should say, to create.
Agree or disagree with me? I think personally, to be a wrestler of your caliber, you have to have a certain degree of athleticism.
Athleticism is a huge part of wrestling.
Because you could be big and you just are flying through doing like that person's an athlete, but looking at the person off the street, you'd be like, eh. But when you see these different sizes of people, shapes, I was like, you gotta be a certain degree of athleticism to be in that kind of caliber.
Absolutely. The funny thing is, the bigger the guy that is in the ring, 9 times out of 10, he's probably the lightest on his feet, and you'll never know it. There are some very, very agile, very smooth moving big guys in wrestling. Now, again, you may not necessarily see them doing the flips and things like that, because again, we want to maintain a level of reality. We want to maintain that suspension of disbelief so that you feel like you're watching a combat sport at every time. So the big guy's going to be a big guy. He's going to see a guy like me, and he's going to pick me up and toss me versus flip on the outside of the ring on top of me. Sometimes, and also just, again, the power dynamics of that can get dangerous. I can't protect him. Him falling certain amount of feet, flying at me over 20 miles per hour with a run, or even 15 miles per hour from running. I can't guarantee I'm going to break your fall well enough for you not to die, or hurt me even more, or make sure I don't die. So that's an element that's there. But I truly believe that if you are looking to get into this business, be an athlete, because it is the prerequisite. You have to be an athlete. If you think you can walk in off the street and just do wrestling because maybe you had fun playing around and it's a teenager copying stuff in a park, you got another thing coming. You are constantly gonna need to find yourself. You gotta find your cardiovascular energy, because you're gonna test that every single time. A 10-minute match can feel like an hour under the right conditions. It's all about the pacing. It's all about what you do. It's the heat from the fans, the adrenaline rush that you're going through. You need to be prepared for just that alone. It's the physicality of this destroying your body on a daily basis, or destroying your body per match, and what you have to do. Those bumps hurt. That ring, there's a thin pad, but it is nothing but wood under it. And yeah, you're throwing yourself into that constantly. It's not the same as being on a trampoline at all. And even a trampoline, that give is not good. You can hurt yourself on that too. So never mistake that this is a sport in many different forms of fashion. You need to be athletic. You need to train. You need to get yourself conditioned. If you think you're going to do it, guess what? It's a fine way to get hurt and injured. If you just want to walk in, don't train and try to go to the top. I dare anyone to do it.
Does diet play a role?
Diet can definitely play a role.
If you're just on drinking beers and just all that all the time, you could still have that level of athleticism in the ring if you're just cocking back beers and just eating whatever?
You'll be surprised at how many actually get by doing it for a little bit, but it catches up to you. Okay. Again, you are, some people are wonders, but they won't miss a workout. Like, you can look at a lot of wrestlers and you may not see them necessarily toting the biggest muscles. They may not be the biggest guys. Some of them will look very out of shape. But they put in the work. That you have to put in the work. You have to bump. You have to roll. You have to put yourself in the timing. There's certain things that they may have limitations on, but they put in the work. And maybe they don't necessarily go to the gym to be, the next Arnold Schwarzenegger or bodybuilder look, or, have a sleek, slim physique as myself. But they will apply at least that in-ring work and become like very in-ring shape, as we say, and be able to go. But again, it's better to take care of yourself, take care of your body, because being a wrestler is a temporary thing. Being on top of your game is a temporary thing. This is such a short shelf life of an experience or a career, and it can end in a lightning bolt. Yeah, I started wrestling, and within the first few months, I thought I was going to have to probably not do it because I had a shoulder injury. Luckily, it wound up being something that I can deal with and work out without surgery. But yeah, to this day, it's something that still bothers me. So, something to consider.
At the end of every match, what do you want your audience to feel?
I don't know.
You want them to feel everything.
I want them simply to have felt. Sometimes a match, I want them to be disappointed. Sometimes I may want them to be elated. Sometimes I want them to just have had a good time and smile. Sometimes confusion, maybe fear, maybe attraction. It really depends on the story that we're trying to tell. In that particular frame, it depends on who I'm going against. It depends on what's needed in the card. Again, this is something that gets thought about in so many different phases for me. So at the end of the match, I really just want you to feel. I want you to have felt something. Sometimes it's the emotion I want you to feel, maybe. Maybe I want you to root for me. Maybe I want you to be sad that I lost, and then you got a reason to root for me the next time. Maybe you should be just super elated and have this nostalgia feel that, that I'm performing as Prince and you just went to a concert and it's the closest thing you've gotten to and you enjoyed that. it's very calculated for me. So it really goes from match to match. But I do want whatever that was, is that when you've come to a show, that you've had an experience, that you felt something. And then for that, 8, 10 minutes, 15, whatever amount of time that I am out there, I have captivated you long enough that that is the only thing that mattered in that moment, that you wanted to be locked in. If I have not caught your attention, if not made you feel something, if not made you pay attention, then I am not doing my job. So by the end of the match, I just want you to have feel something, been invested, and for that time period, it was the thing that had your attention and something for you to remember. And now, you said you want 60 seconds of me and my inner thoughts. Well,
Talk your shit.
according to my inner thoughts, he's getting shy and wants to hide.
I'm not hiding. I just need to come out only a little bit at a time because the inner thoughts are supposed to be cut in. As of right now, though, I'm thinking I want to address Santana Jackson. Santana Jackson, you and I, we are becoming rivals, and we need to do this dance one more time. Also, the Wrestling Alliance, with WIN, the world needs to see us on a bigger stage every single time. You ain't got the one up on me this time, but I'm coming for you. I'm coming for it.
You are going to sit here, and my inner thoughts are now telling on me that I want another match with Santana Jackson.
You're damn right. You don't need no other digits. You need me and wins. Wins, wins, wins.
So you're saying that the artist formerly known as Dash, the Brooklyn Wrestling Prince, the one and only purple experience that exists in pro wrestling right now, the number one purple thing going, the deliverer of purple pain, the pain provocateur, the one and only 1,000 levels above the rest and anyone else, needs to be on point and on center against Santana Jackson in every single corner of the earth. As long as there is a wrestling, that it needs to be me and him probably sharing a stage.
You damn right.
Well, I can't argue with that, because I am a one-of-a-kind, once-in-a-lifetime experience. This is generational. I may be a nostalgia act and a tribute artist, but you better believe that I am one-of-a-kind special attraction. When I am on the card, I will suspend your disbelief and you will experience something you have never seen before, because the artist formerly known as Dash is simply that, an artist. I am an artist, and I am painting a canvas of pain, pleasure, and phantom experience. So, if you can get a chance to see me and get a ticket at your next show, or demand me on your next show, you know where to find me. I am at Dashing Hazard on Instagram. I am known as Dashing D Weatherford on Facebook, and you can also find me on Facebook at /DashingD1000. If you look for me on Twitter, it is also at DashingD1000. Simply all written out. I have plenty of shops, plenty of experiences, and I look forward to your support, because like the original purple one, this is bigger than the moment, bigger than the match. It is a full-fledged, once-in-a-lifetime experience every time. And I thank you, dearly beloved. I probably went over time.
No, that was perfect. Perfect.